Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phoenix Club.
Hello and welcome back to the Phoenix Pod.
It's the Phoenix Pod. Turn right into paradise. Do you know what? I'm going to make an effort for the start of season 2. I'm actually going to find the clip of that and just sort of like edit it with my voice on top.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
that has to happen.
Because with me being furloughed, I need something to, pass the days by. So it should eat up at least a couple of hours.
You need to find something that rhymes with paradise and do one of them videos where it's like roses are red.
It's Bolton's. You could put Sam Allardyce.
So yeah, how's it doing?
We're doing fine.
No, just racist.
See, nothing wrong with this pod. Nothing wrong, nothing blue.
No, just racist.
Get it off! Get it off!
And it's
Yes.
from Spreaker, never to be seen again.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Phoenix Pod. I am once again your host, AXC, joined by the man from the Pennine Suite, a man who is half a man.
Yeah, I am half a man. I fucked that up royally. I have webcam on. I have new setup. I have new PC. Because, as you know, last week I wasn't here because my computer decided to, committed Harry Carey and died quite spectacularly. Moral of the story: if you have a computer that's a slim computer and you want to get a graphics card that doesn't fit, don't chop your computer up and hope it doesn't fall over to try and fit it in. It does not end up well.
So I thought you were going to say don't chop the graphics card up, but...
Oh no, I've still got that. Graphics card's fine. It's just the rest of the fucking computer. It killed.
And the other voice you can hear from the RAD podcast, it's Lewis Ogden.
Hello, it's Mr. Ogden. Hello. That's part of a Peter Kay joke. If you're sort of a little bit confused.
I'm just slow in general, so.
I was just thinking sort of like Peter Kay's nan and granddad, on an answering machine.
Oh yeah.
Just sort of like him going, "Hello, it's your granddad. Hello." And there's like a 10-second pause before he goes, "It's your granddad."
I remember the other one where he's like, "Hello, it's Peter, it's me, your nana."
Hello. Don't like these bloody things. Hello. It's I can't hear him. Why is that back door open? Well, what are you defrosting? 10 minutes on an answering machine needs to having a conversation.
Oh dear. So yes, this is episode 5 titled Robot Wars.
Robot Wars.
Yeah, he wasn't even the main part of the show, I'd say. But I suppose it keeps it surprising. It lures you in and surprises you what actually is what I would call the meat and potatoes of the episode.
Well, they call it Robot Wars. I think they wanted to sort of divert your attention from away from the comedy night, because they could probably just call it comedy night and be like, and probably no one would be like, what we're watching tonight, but you call it Robot Wars because at the time Robot Wars was still quite popular, wasn't it? So it's like, can't miss this one.
Well, 2001, 2002, because like it was on like very late 90s. Was it like 99 that it was?
2000, I believe, or 2001 actually. 2001.
Right. So
probably filmed 2000, wouldn't it have been season 1?
Yes.
More than likely. So it's the sort of place still trying to capitalise off the success of Robot Wars, because I remember 98, 99 it was big, wasn't it?
It was huge.
And then they tried doing Robot Wars Extreme and all that sort of thing. So.
And it died a death. And now you're talking to one of the possibly the greatest fanboys of Robot Wars, or there was when it was around, and it died of death. And then it went to Channel 5, and then it was like Channel 5 was dragging the dead corpse. And then it's like,
Well, it started in February 1998.
Yeah, with Jeremy Clarkson.
And then the era that I remember it being hosted by Craig Charles.
It was all of it by Craig Charles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Even when it went to Channel 5, it was Craig Charles all the way. Jeremy Clarkson only did one series, and it was like 6 episodes.
Mm.
And he actually appeared on BBC. On Blue Peter. To advertise it, because that's how I found out about it, because I used to watch Blue Peter as a kid.
I just remember being told by mates, and it was like, yeah, Robot Wars, BBC 2. I'm like, what's Robot Wars? Like, right, you need to watch it, especially this one called Roadblock.
It's a giant wedge.
Roadblock. God, I can't remember Roadblock, but
it was one of the ones that had, it was like a big stop sign, like a road sign that had a flipper, and it got through to the finals, I believe.
It didn't have a flipper to begin with, though.
It
was literally a giant wedge.
Yes, it was literally just a giant wedge, and then the upgrade and gave it a flipper.
And called it Beast of Bodmin.
Yes.
See, I know this shit.
The one outstanding memory I remember is I used to be a massive Chaos 2 mark.
Oh, yes.
And I can't remember whether it was Razor or Hypnodisc. But like it might have been both of them actually. But I seem to remember like at least one of them absolutely tearing Chaos 2 apart, and I was just sort of like, no, my favourite.
It was Hypnodisc because in a fight I think either previous or just after that it absolutely killed Matilda. Hypnodisc absolutely ripped it. It literally ripped it a new arsehole because it literally ripped it in half.
Well, I remember that it was Hypnodisc that destroyed the chainsaw on the back of Matilda, and that's when they changed it to a circular disc at the back.
Yeah, it killed. It did that much damage to Matilda. They had to change it. So yeah, but yeah, that's Robot Wars. We are massive geeks and we love it.
Yeah, nice little trip down memory lane, sort of sets the scene.
Yeah, I'd watch that shit again if I could.
Oh,
absolutely.
Did it not come out on DVD or something at one point?
Don't tempt me.
Well, I'm sure there was. I remember at one point seeing like a best of Robot Wars DVD, like years, like I'm talking 10, 15 years ago.
Right. Listen, don't tempt me down these rabbit holes. You know what I'm like. I end up watching 8 series of Nightmare straight.
When you finish recording, you can go on eBay. You can have a look. Okay.
eBay, Amazon. See if there's a complete collection of it.
See, what's going to happen now after this episode is Coxy's notifications are going to go through the roof because I'm going to be sending him these DVDs. He say, look, here's one. Here's season 2. Oh, look, season 5. Can't get season 4, though.
Oh, dear. So, yes, right, we'll do. Enough about Robot Wars now. This is not the Robot Wars pod.
We could start one though, just to clear, just me and Lewis.
I know someone else who started one, and they've literally gone right back to the beginning on it. So,
I may look this up.
So yes, we begin. We're in the car park at night. Max and Pally on the door, and Jerry is singing in the background.
It's "I Feel Like a Woman" by Shania Twain, which is a song I heard countless times growing up because my mum was a great big massive Shania Twain fan.
Yeah, but it was also a huge song like in the late 90s, very, very early 2000s, because that's when Shania Twain was sort of like a reign of terror sort of thing. But if you can't tell, I wasn't a massive Shania Twain fan.
Well, it also got notoriety for the video, wasn't it? Because it was it Robert Palmer?
Believe so.
The video where he had like all the women sort of looking dead faced and bloody playing instruments. And then she did the same with men in the background thing.
Yes.
So that's like a role reversal.
Yes, I remember that. Yes. This was a time when women did something, it was major news. So You know what I mean by that.
I do, yes, but I'm not going to cover it any further because I know what 2020 is like.
Yeah, I know.
People
Well, I mean,
have fucked enough already.
what I mean to say is that then it was a lot more close-minded than it is now. It is much better now.
So I feel like I have to mention not dads from RAD for this opening line.
Oh,
That comes from Paddy, which is prostitutes rough in Amsterdam. The first one I went with, maybe watch Real Man in Sync.
And Max just goes, "You took your dad." And that's literally the opening bit, and you're not even 20 seconds in, and you've already struck comedy gold.
yeah.
It was also one of the most repeated lines, I think, on Paul Stag Do was, "You took your dad."
That's it was. It became a running theme.
So Paddy gives Max a look of confusion, and then we see a minibus pull into the park.
Oh, yeah.
The car park, sorry.
Oh,
Rupert,
bloody hate
Dwarfs.
Max things.
Super John.
We're Bolton. We're
Cheers,
Bolton.
Dougie.
We're on the piss tonight.
Oh, it actually starts with "We're on the march tonight," then they change it to "We're on the piss tonight."
Ah, right, okay.
And they're not as, well-rounded as you probably expect them to be, which causes both of them to just sort of like squint their eyes as if they're looking at as if they're in the Sahara Desert and they've seen a mirage, and they're just sort of. And Max goes, "How far away are they?" And it's about, I don't know, would you say eight little people?
I've got the actual pictures here. I can 2, 4. There's about 7.
7.
7 or 8, yeah. 7 or 8. I recall. I'm like Lewis. If I'm thinking in my head, it's about 8.
Yeah. So we have Max with whoa, get back on the bus. You're not coming in.
Yeah, it's the TikTok craze of the roses are red thing. Myself and everybody else in our podcasting group have just spent a good couple of weeks just sending these TikTok videos, and there's one that sums up this next line pretty well. It's roses are red. Go put yourself in a bin. Whoa! Get back on the bus. You're not coming in.
There's loads of them like that. If you go on the Facebook page, is it No Context Phoenix Nights?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's loads of them on there. I'm going to plug the little Facebook page. It's absolutely brilliant.
I've got, as I always find mine on Twitter at on Max and Paddy quotes. So it's at Max and Paddy line. That's always a good one to follow.
I'll have to look at that one.
I'll get a nosy on that.
Yes, we have one of the dwarfs who chimes in with, "Hey, I'm getting married next week."
Don't care. You're not coming in.
Oh, come on. It's his stag do.
Which leads to them trying to bribe Max and Paddy with, "Is it money you want? Because we've got money."
No, we don't want your money. And then they just all rush in and overwhelm them.
They start shaking the cigarette machine that's out of order.
Hey, there's nothing in this. Oi, you, tattoo, get away from there.
Who you calling tattoo, you long streaky piss?
And then literally all of them just pile on Max and Paddy, hit them over the head with their empty beer bottles. And Brian literally just sort of like comes through a door, sees the commotion, and just wheels back,
shakes his head in disappointment, in disappointment, sort of like, and then just sort of like just backs away slowly.
And then that brings us to the opening credits.
Yeah. We will get them.
Why am I doing this? It plays at this jingle plays at the start of the episode anyway.
Exactly.
Well, to be honest, Coxy's known for doing this whenever he goes, and then we get the opening credits. So I thought I'd just.
It's got to be done, hasn't it? It's got to be done. But yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I think we still need to get Coxy a Poundland xylophone to do it on. For real. And film it.
By the time we get around to doing it, though, it'll be like the end of the thing, so we'll have to go back and re-record every episode. It's just me going dun dun dun. Fuck it.
Just do like an 80s montage of him just going. By the end of it, he's just doing it blindfold.
So yes, we're outside a hospital. Well, we've got the establishing shot of a hospital, and we see Jerry in the waiting room waiting for an endoscopy.
Oh, lovely.
In his gown and.
What gets me is the song in the background, though. He's there, so he's sideways, backside out. You just hear the lyrics. Was it? We're on the. Was it the dark side? Oh, was it the full moon, dark side of the moon?
Dark side of the moon.
That's it.
But before that, we do actually have the watching. They've got Armchair Superstore on TV.
Oh yeah.
Easy Armchair Superstore, or as I'm now christening it, because a couple of podcasts ago we just literally started calling it Poundland QVC. I'm just going to start calling it from now on. I'm just going to come out with it. I'm going to start calling it PVC because, and I don't mean it in the way that most of you listeners will probably be thinking of it. All I can say is get your mind out of the gutter. But yeah, it's better than saying Poundland QVC all the time, or just Easy Armchair Superstore, which is what it's called.
Easy Armchair Superstore. I like it.
So we have the presenter to have your car stolen, which happened to me a few months back. The scumbags ranks them on the lowest of the low. Here with us now is John Lennon with the latest deterrent. What have you got for us, John?
And is and the guy that's playing that John Lennon guy is actually Paul Crone from is it Northwest Tonight? No, Granada Reports.
That's Granada Reports.
Yes,
yeah.
Granada Reports. Paul Crone.
As I was watching it, it was all like, I know him. He's the guy off Granada Reports, but I can't remember his bloody name. But
yeah, it's Paul Crone, and he also appears in season 2 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, which we'll bring up when we get to it.
So yes, we had the nurse calling for Jerry. Well, John Lennon, the presenter, discussing the Invader 2000, which has the unique facility to record and personalise your alarm.
Which will become relevant.
Yes, it will, in outstanding fashion.
To the point it became my ringtone for about 6 months at one point. But I won't spoil the suspense. Tune in next week to find out what it was.
Yeah.
So then we cut to the examination room. Jerry's on his side. He's got a hospital gown with a split up the back. With his arse on show.
All the way through this procedure, you saw the whole of the moon is going on in the background.
Yep. We saw the whole.
Too high, too far, too soon. You saw the whole of the moon.
But we have the doctor asking Jerry if he knows what's going to happen. And he's sort of, yeah. So you just pull your knees up for me.
Now, what I'm going to do, Mr. Sinclair, is I'm just going to introduce the camera to your back passage. And Jerry just goes, introduce?
But then we have the doctor who chimes in with, oh, look at the state of that, eh? It's filthy, Sheila. Can you give it a wipe? So then Jerry looks worried, like it's like his arse or something, and she's there wiping a bloody TV screen.
Oh god, it's just some weird little random jokes that Peter Kay thinks of that you wouldn't see anywhere else. Just little bits like that. It's always it's like a laugh every 30 seconds minimum. Just little tiny things like that.
Yeah.
So then we cut to the Jockey Wilson suite. We've got Holy Mary and Marion behind the bar washing glasses. Discussing young Mary being out with Paddy.
Oh, he's a nice lad, but he likes his women.
Have you said it? Have you said anything to her? No, I have prayed for her.
But then, well, my Mary's not a woman. She hasn't finished her A-levels yet.
Oh dear.
So we cut back to Jerry. Halfway through the examination, we're in an iron with the nurse saying, "Is it painful?" It's like, "Very."
Have a look at the screen. That'll take your mind off it. Them's your
Them's
bowels.
your bowels, yeah. Oh god.
Oh dear. Then we cut through to a barber shop. Paddy jumps in the chair with Emu the barber behind him. They can hear Charlie FM coming in your ears.
Oh, poor Charlie FM. We miss them.
With them back and forth. "Hello, Paddy, you all right?" So "What do you want?" "Well, your opinion, really." Am I going bald?
And then there's Max and the mate just all like, "Hey!" Outside knocking on the window. "What are you doing?"
And he's just got that look on his face like, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
So yes, we meet Terry. I don't know if we meet Terry again later on in the series.
I don't know about this series. He's definitely in season 2.
Oh, there we go.
He's definitely in season 2.
"Hey, what's going on here? What you doing? Emo, you've met our Terry."
There he's like mid-90s United
You're
shirt
wasting
on.
your money.
He's got like a
Terry goes, "Hey, Paddy, you should be putting it on, not taking it off."
just shove lumps of loose hair on his head.
So then we're back in the Jockey Wilson suite with Brian and Jerry. Jerry constantly stirring his tea. Then Brian opens with, "I mean, look at Sushi. He's only 42 and he's coping." So Jerry replies, "Sushi? Roy Fish off the estate. He's had half his stomach out in the back on his hip. He still goes jogging." Which
like,
leads to another.
"Oh, thanks." Brian just goes, I'm trying to make you better." And like literally all the time when Jerry's like stirring his tea, it's like clinking in the cup. And so like mid-sentence, Brian just goes, Stop stirring your tea, dickhead."
Oh, we've got a where is it? Better one before that. So, "Trying to cheer you up, man. You're A1, you know. You're a bloody hypodermic, Jerry."
Oh god.
What? Well, you are. I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that. You want to put yourself in my shoes. Stop stirring your tea, dickhead. I wanted Frank Sinatra. I wanted Shawaddy Waddy. What if I got Robot Wars, an alternative frigging comedy? Oh, it's tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, because but Potter has a go at him because he's not sold that many tickets. He says, "Don't you dare don't you dare, pull in a sickie on this one," sort of thing.
Yeah.
Tickets. Do you know how many tickets we sold? Marion? Yeah, she's gone. She's seen the iceberg.
What have you called us? What have you called the finest cabaret lads inside a Garstang? The funny farm.
The funny farm. The funny farm, Jerry.
That's where they're sending me.
That's what they can't me off to, because Potter is pissing in the wind.
And Den Perry and all them others are laughing at us.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us, Jerry, so why don't you? Don't you go for a sickie tonight, boy. Don't you dare. You get up on that stage and you get your act together, because I can't get up there, because I've got real problems. You don't know if I've noticed, Jerry, but... Oh, shut
Jerry
up.
just goes, "Oh, shut up."
Oh. Brilliant.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, okay, all right, we'll play it that way then. We'll play it that way. Now I know where I stand. Good night. God bless. You want me? I'll be in my office, shaking off migraine. Sorry, brain tumour.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh. So we're back in the barber shop. Terry's now getting his hair cut. Max is standing chatting to him. With Paddy looking, thumbing through a magazine. "You coming down
yes.
club tonight? We're having Robot Wars." "Robot Wars at the club?" "Yeah, Pennine Street." "Oh, like on telly?"
Like, yeah, me and the hills of eyes over here.
Yeah.
Oh, we entered a robot. Oh, me and the hills of eyes. Bollocks, who built it?
We did.
You can't even change a plug.
Right, how many gears it got?
And Max like literally is just sort of like thinking of accessing his little thought cloud above his head, and he just goes, "Plenty."
Oh god! So he's in the boot of his car, don't he? So they go out and they basically reenact the scene from Pulp Fiction where they look in the case.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. Oh, don't touch it! Don't touch it!
Paddy's like, oh, we'll live in the Vader with this. Terry's like, you haven't built that, and he goes to touch it, and I'm like, whoa, hands off. And Terry says, what? And then he said, well, take your hand off. And that brings us to the end of part 1.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I fucking love this show.
I don't know if you listened to last week's episode yet, Paul. As me and Lewis were discussing it, it was episode 4, which was the late singles night. And it's like I was saying to Lewis on that episode, like it wasn't one of my favourites, but then but there was some like belting lines in it, and there's some in this one where it's like, yeah, it's like the B story is a bit meh, but like we've been Robot Wars and that, because not really, you don't really see much of it, but then there's still some cracking lines in it.
Yeah.
So
you can say this episode is, especially the second half, is one of the episodes that sticks in my mind when I think of Phoenix Nights. And it's one of the routines that one of the alternative comedians come up to. But we'll cover it later. But it's like, I ended up using his lines for some reason years ago. And I don't know why, because I think back to myself and thinking, you were a colossal dickhead.
As long as it's not the one me and Lewis were talking about before you came on.
We shall see.
Which we'll cover.
We'll find out.
We shall see.
So yes, we're back with part 2. We're in the car park at night time with Jerry chatting to Max. They've got a Funny Farm banner above the entrance.
Oh God!
we catch them mid conversation. So they said they'd be in touch. All I've got to do is wait, really. And just
Paddy's
yeah,
just nodding, yeah.
Play the old waiting game. Yeah.
Paddy comes through with 2 mugs of tea. He's just sort of like, Jerry goes, well, if any of the other comedians come through, just send them through, won't you? And walks off. And Max goes, oh, he's one of the good guys, is Jerry. Paddy goes, oh, aye, sounds a pound. Takes a slurp of his mug of tea. There's a pause, and he just goes, he's still shitting blood.
Always a sensitive one is our Paddy.
So we cut through to the Funny Farm with the Galaxy Lounge. Sorry, this is the Funny Farm, ladies and gentlemen. The birth of merriment and laughter. Join in. Here we go. As Jerry sings the song "Smile" with Les Alanos looking less than pleased to be singing "Smile." You better smile, 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 smile.
This couldn't be arsed.
So we're back in the car park. We have Max and Pan the door. A group of students arrive.
Oh God! Yeah, this is what I was giggling about. Is this the Fanny Farm?
Is this the Funny Farm? Fanny Farm? The Funny Farm. It's Fanny? So I think she means funny. You mean funny, love? Funny Farm, yes. This is the Funny Farm. And one of the other students goes, do you take NUS? And Max goes, you what? He's like, do you take NUS? I don't take any of that shit, and neither should you. My body's a temple. Come on, get in. Coming in here with your ha 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 sheesh.
So then as they're walking through, we hear, hey, look at that wallpaper, cool. With Paddy chimes in with, I hate students.
Max just looks at him bewildered, just goes, you hate students? You're coursing one. And Paddy goes, no, I'm not.
Oh God! Shortly after this, she turns up, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got bits before because it's
Yeah.
because we back in the Galaxy Lounge. Jerry's still singing and he starts chatting to the audience.
It's when the students literally come through. He's just sort of welcoming them and all that. And then I've got the entire sort of like manuscript of what Brian says to the performers if you want me to take over.
Oh, go for it.
I've just got Jerry first of all. He goes, "Come in and sit down. Welcome. My name's Jerry St. Clair. It's my privilege, my pleasure to welcome you to a new night of comedy in alternative style." And then he goes, as we see the students walking, so he goes, "Oh yes, the posse are here, so you'd better smile." And he's like, cuts back to bloody Lazanos. Smile. And then that's when we jump backstage and have Brian briefing the comic. So over to you, Lewis.
So Brian goes, right, listen, you get, and there's a comedian like directly to his left, just sort of like strumming his guitar. So he literally just puts a stop to it. He goes, you get 5 minutes, 10 if they're laughing. If they're not laughing, you're crap and you're off. And one of the comedians goes, when do we get paid? It's when do you get paid? When do you get paid? When you make me laugh, mouth. You're on first, Kenny, tell the saint. And another comedian goes, who's the saint? And Brian goes, who's the saint? Who's the saint? Him, out there, trying to sing. Watch and learn. He's forgotten more than you'll learn. And then it cuts to Jerry still carrying on his performance. And then it cuts back to Brian and he goes, no filth, simple as, no smut, no swearing, no racism, no queer or lazy stuff, to which one of the comedians literally rolls his eyes at. Just sort of like, damn. It's like,
That's my fucking act.
Yeah, no queer or lazy stuff. We don't go there. There's a picture of Her Majesty the Queen out there, and as far as you're all concerned, she sat in front row.
Don't make me sound Crystal. And the comics go, yeah.
To which every single, well, like, throughout all of the comics, all of the rules are just, like, flat out broken.
Oh, yes.
Because I remember this was like I think one of the first Phoenix Nights episodes I watched, but I call it literally at this point where it's the first comic and it's like mid joke and he's like, "Is it me, or do all pensioners stink of piss?"
Yeah.
And there's just silence and people looking at him like, "You fucking what?"
Because like literally 98% of the well, to be fair, there's only like 10 people in total, like including the students maybe. And like the majority of them are all pensioners.
Yeah, he says that line. It literally the camera basically like focuses in on the pensioner's face. It's like, all pensioners smell like piss, and he just goes boom straight onto their face. Like what?
There's a few people laughing. They've got my grandmother, right? She can't even remember where the toilet is, and that's why she stinks of piss. But the students are like pissing themselves laughing, and all the pensioners are like.
Yep.
So we jump through the Pen Iron Suite where the room's decked out for Robot Wars. We've got Ray Von.
Mr. Ray Von.
In all black.
In all black, leather jacket, sunglasses on. He goes,
Focusing is in the Lister.
Yeah.
Yep.
He literally goes, welcome to Robot Wars. Tonight is about survival of the fittest, where the last surviving robot will be crowned the winner and will receive a jackpot of £63. And he literally goes, robot ears, are you ready? And it's like the entire time he's been making this introduction, the camera's been focused on him. So it cuts to a wide out shot and it's literally like two groups of people. Two, is it two or three?
There's like about three groups in there. There's all of
three
about
groups.
10 people all together.
3 groups and there's one kid just going, yeah, ready.
So then we jump through at the car park as we see young Mary approaching. Max says, "Hey, up, here's your latest flame now, Paddy." And then Paddy's like, acts like he don't know her. "Oh, you're right. It's Mary's daughter. Mary, you're right."
Paddy just very awkwardly wants to just get her inside the club, and as soon as she goes inside, Paddy literally goes, "You fancy a brew?" It's like, no, I don't want a brew. It's like, "You sure you don't want a brew? I'm I'm
That's why
parched.
he's like, gasping me. I'm parched.
Gasping, parched.
Just
I've literally just had a brew now. You sure you don't want another brew? I'm parched. I'd like gammon for tea. It's like, I don't want a bloody brew. It's like, I'm just going to go get a brew. I'll be right back. It's like, oh, yeah, of course you are. And as soon as he goes, Max just literally goes to himself, must think I'm bloody stupid.
So then we cut back through to the Pennine Suite with Robot Wars. We've got Ray standing there with two men and a teenager. Young Kenny's on the music.
All right.
And Ray's checking out a robot with jaws like teeth.
Isn't that the one that's basically a dustpan and brush with a box on the top?
I think so.
Yeah.
I tell you, that fella needs a trip to the dentist. We had a theme from Buck Rogers, and Kenny Senior pushes Brian to the middle of the empty room.
Oh my god, I forgot about this. Yeah.
Okay, and here he is, everybody. Here he is to get his rollerball rolling. Please welcome our very own Davros, Mr. Brian Potter. Come on, welcome to Robot Wars. Which is followed up by, thought you said they're going to be 30. And then we have, this is Team Chaos, and this is the cleaner. And Brian just looking at her going, they're the robot, son, is it?
Robot, son.
And then the kid's just like, actually, the term is automaton. The cleaner's multi-directional. It's fitted with a twin with a blade mechanism at the back. It's got a trip hammer device at the front. And Brian just slightly off mic's like, you ever kissed a girl?
Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, I've actually got chest pains.
It's one of these episodes, though. It's unrelenting. It's not like there's like massive belly laughs, but there's a lot of just general chuckling all the way through.
Well, it's like Lewis was saying, I think, in episode 2, where there's you have Brian, where he says things, he gets it wrong, where he's like, chuck the key away. And on this one, you have he's calling Jerry a hypodermic.
Yeah.
But then, on the last episode, Ray Von was there with his girlfriend Tracy, and he was like, "Oh, you should go home, you losers." That tries it off mic, but you can still clearly hear it.
It's like Ray just basically going, "This is what we call the erection section. So if you're not with somebody, then what are you still doing here, you loser?"
But it's still picked up.
Yeah.
So then we're back in the Galaxy Lounge at the Comic-Con stage singing There's a lot of bitterness in my life.
There's a lot of bitterness in my life. There's a lot of bitterness in my life. There's a lot of bitterness in my life. There's a lot of bitterness in my life. Da-da-dee-dee-dee-da.
So we're backstage with Jerry and the comic who's on next with, "You nervous, son?" "Yeah." "Do you work?" "Teacher." Good lad. "Do you?" "No, I'm sick at the moment." "Oh, nothing serious. I don't know. I'm waiting for test results." Playing the old waiting game. Still, this old alternative comedy, what do you make of it? A bit weird, isn't it? And he just nods.
Oh, you have no idea.
So then we have cuts to the Galaxy Lounge with Jerry on stage. Well done, Mick Artistic, eh? Comedy and rhyming style. Les Alanos likes him anyway.
It cuts to Leslie and he's just got a fag in his mouth, just sort of going, "Hey, what's he on about?"
So before we crack on, I've got an announcement for you. Well, the owner of the car with number plate G65 347 2173 458 64 51 917 742X. Please move it because the number plate's blocking the fire exit. Right, so anyway, your posse. Now here we go with the next act for yourselves. Well, you're welcome from all the way over there. It's Darius.
Just before we get on to Darius, it's it's quite interesting the way that Jerry's comparing, because he's a lot like WWE. He's trying to appeal to sort of like the younger audience when the majority of his audience are older.
Oh yeah, I think it's that thing of like if they did like it's like going to see a comedian when they're doing like they're normally known for doing like blue material, and then do like the kid show alternative.
Oh,
and like,
I know what you mean. Do you ever watch a show called RuTube?
Yes.
They did a show on E4 or whatever it was called Rudish Tube, and they tried to do the same thing, but it was sort of like family friendly, and it was shit.
Pretty much like that, where it's like, you ready to have some fun? And it's like, let's get on with it. But it's like, it's kind of the way, like, in relation to wrestling, because I've been to like shows where it's been like an 18 plus adults only show, and seen people on it, but I've seen those same guys like the following week on like a kids only, bloody family friendly, like Butlin style show, and it's like just proper pandering and like, oof, no, but yeah, I think it's if anything, I'm surprised Joe at the time didn't walk out with like a big like chain on, pants round like down to his arse, like backwards cap on. But I think I think it's season 2, but it's where he's singing Eminem.
Oh yes,
yes.
I was expecting that. Spoiler alert, but so we have the comic Jerry's been talking to Martin. He runs on him nothing but a pair of blue eye fronts with the name Darius written all over his body
in what appears to be like blue crayon or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's running around stage stamping, shouting gibberish.
Yeah, it was incomprehensible, wasn't it? It was just like rah, rah. He sounded like the guy from Police Academy.
Oh, Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds like Opie from Family Guy.
Yes.
So Les and Alan look on shocked as they cut to Brian. This is as bad as it gets, Kenny. Can we sing Kenny lower than this? And Kenny Senior chimes in with, he taught me metal work. Even though Kenny Senior's probably older.
I'd literally just have in brackets like, this is probably the truest statement that we'll ever get from Kenny Senior. Probably like the one and only time where he isn't bullshitting.
It could, yeah.
It could possibly be, but then like looking at the both of them, it's like he's probably the same age as Kenny Senior if Kenny Senior's not older.
Very true.
So yeah, so we cut to the club cellar. Max opens the door. We've got Paddy and Mary kissing in the darkness. Quickly stop and turn like they weren't.
Max just goes, "Oi!" He's like, "Have you had your brew?" It's like, yeah. It's like, come on, we're up next. Robot Wars. We're against Death by Chocolate. Paddy just goes, "Oh, great. We'll shit him."
Just walks off like Mary with nothing.
So we cut back to the Pennine Suite. We've got Rave on with, that's Team Voodoo with their robot Death by Chocolate. And now Robotians, their opponents, Team Double Trouble and their robot Ass Kicker.
And they literally just come on to two tribes, which is throughout the whole of the sort of like the Robot Wars skit, it's literally just been sort of like the instrumental bit has been playing in the background. And it's only when Max and Paddy make their entrance that it just goes, when two tribes go to war. But
it's the fact that like they get like the full entrance, like smoke machine lights, like full on like pyro and ballyhoo almost, and you see this like legit bloody robot enter that probably could have been on the actual Robot Wars.
It's like the old TNA tunnel, isn't it, with the smoke and everything.
But it's the fact the size of that compared to like the Celebrations bloody Death by Chocolate, like the old Celebrations tins, a couple of cheese graters glued to it. Like.
And this Ass Kicker, it sort of looks a little bit like, was there like a triangular? There was a triangular robot with sort of like an axe.
I think it was Firestorm.
Was it Firestorm? I can't.
Yeah,
I kept thinking Dominator for whatever reason.
It's either Dominator or Firestorm, one or the other.
Hmm.
Firestorm's like the red and orange one with like a big hammer.
No, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to have a look at that.
So we're gonna look it up now. We're gonna go with the Wiki fans page or whatever it is and look at Robot Wars and have all like a.
Let's see.
He's fucking looking it up.
So what? Someone crack out the PS2 and put Robot Wars on.
You cheat and be Sir Kill-A-Lot.
So yes, we cut the Death by Chocolates team. We're just standing there terrified.
Yeah, I think it's Dominator 2.
Ah.
It looks like, except instead of it being sort of like decked out in sort of like flames, it's literally just sort of like decked up to look like a bouncer.
Yes.
So it's literally just sort of like got, you know, black waistcoat, white shirt, and sort of like the doorman's bow tie at the top.
Yep.
Very good. So we're back in the Galaxy Lounge, and as usual, was like a trademark Peter Kay is like we hear the end of this joke, which is so the King says, "No, you pillock. I said ping pong balls, not King Kong's balls."
There's a very there's an outtake of sort of like Phoenix Nights of Paddy actually doing this, you know, doing this sort of like joke of sort of him going, "I said ping pong balls, not King Kong's balls," and then literally it's like a 2.5-3 minute take, and literally every time Paddy starts saying this, both of them just sort of like crack up with laughter.
I think I've actually got the DVD for it, so I'll tell you what I'll do for the next episode. I'll stick it in. I'll see if that features on.
I know it's on sort of like it's on YouTube, like sort of like most of the Phoenix outtakes. There's one particular one that isn't on there, but it comes from an episode that's late into season 2, so I won't talk about it. But for whatever reason, I can't find it on YouTube. It seems to be like a DVD exclusive.
I'll have a look and see if you let me know what it is at the time, and I'll look it up. See if it's on there. But look, I'm lucky to have both DVDs, so.
As am I.
Yeah.
So yes, we have the audience laugh, and we just hear one of the students say, "You shit, get off." Which Jerry retorts with, "They spoiled a lovely set of teeth and they put a mouth in your arse, didn't they, eh?" But completely trips it up, and even like the student's like, "What?" And Jerry even looks himself like, "Yeah, what did I say?"
Yeah, you fucked that one up. And he just sort of skulks off the stage, doesn't he, sort of thing?
Well, it's we have Brian, and you sort of see Jerry out. You hear Jerry out of shot, and he says, "Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show." And we have Brian's like, "You always ceases to amaze me, Kenny." And then we have the ass kickers smashing Death by Chocolate to bits.
Is this the point where they crouched over it with the fucking axe and they're hitting it manually?
Later on, I believe.
No, but it's sort of done in the same way, though. You can tell it's somebody sort of like at the other end, like out of camera shot, like literally using the axe to smash this Celebrations tin into pieces.
Oh no, I think it is this bit because I'm just reading through it now. Yeah, there's
because Paddy's stamping on it as well, isn't he?
No, that's later on.
Ah.
Yeah, because they're actually letting the robot do most of the destruction to begin with.
So then we're back in the Galaxy Lounge, and we have one of the comics. It's been a lifetime waiting for Godot when 3 come along at once.
And he's literally just sort of like whispering this into the microphone, sort of like in this sort of hushed voice. And you know, I can't remember the line really because you know. And then, so he literally says this joke in inverted commas in this kind of voice, and you just hear Brian go, "Tell us a joke we know."
Then we cut back to the Pennine Suite, and ass kickers moved on to the other robots now.
I swear there's a robot called Brown Bread.
There is,
and it's sort of it's like made out of a, you know, like a like a bread bin.
Yeah, I believe there is, yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
But they focus more on Death by Chocolate because of how ridiculous it looks. So we're back. We're back to the Galaxy Lounge. With good evening, come on, my name's Jeff Bitch, but you can just call me Bitch. That's just the ladies, that is. And then Rick follows up with, I'm a bitch, and slaps his own ass.
This is the comic that when Brian was giving the instructions to was strumming his guitar. So he's just sort of like got a he's wearing like sort of a navy blue like shirt, but it's like all sort of like buttoned down, and sort of like he's got his guitar there, got his glasses on, and yeah, as I say, his name's Jeff Bitch, but you can just call him Bitch. Well, the ladies can anyway.
So then we cut back to the Pennine Suite. We have Ass Kicker destroying the other robots, just completely smite. I think this is the pit where they have the hammer. Max grabs the hammer and he's like, Popper.
And Paddy's stomping on it as well. And you just got the other competitors just looking at it and just sort of like, how's this fair?
Not on. I'm sure I could hear him say that's not on, or mouth it. It's not on.
I think they do, yeah. But we cut straight back to the Galaxy Lounge with Jeff Bitch still on stage, singing and playing guitar. They're literally just singing, tits, tits, I want tits. Come on, get your tits out, ladies. And Brian just sat there in shock, says, Kenny, get me his handsack.
And it's literally in his top breast pocket, and Kenny literally reaches into Brian's own pocket and gets out for him.
So Jerry runs on, unplugs his guitar, and says, there you go, Jeff Bitch, ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. And we cut straight back to the Pennine Suite with Rave on. Let's hear it for our winner's Ass Kicker, come on. We just sort of smattered, like disappointed. Well, that's just about it for Robot Wars. Thank you and good night.
And the kid,
we see the young lad before.
Yeah, the young kid who's part of Death by Chocolate is literally trying to force the top of the celebrations tin off the axe of Ass Kicker.
Yeah, he's like pulling with all these straps to get it off the end of the axe.
And so it's revealed at this point, Rayvon's giving out the prize money to Max and Paddy, and it turns out that he was the one that made Ass Kicker. And so he only gives them a £20 note, and Max is just sort of like, whoa, what's all this? It's like your winner's purse. It's like, 20 quid, tenner each. No, we want more. And Ray just goes, no, we had an agreement. I build it, you race it. It's like, Max goes, we agreed on a three-way split. And Paddy goes, typical Jippo. I bet he was like this on the Dodgems.
And then, oh yes, where is it? I spent 3 weeks building that. I put all the graft in. And then Max sort of squares up to him and says, I'll put my boot in flour. You can dip your hand in your pocket. So then we cut back to the Galaxy Lounge with Jerry with, well, ladies and gentlemen, I had a great night. That wasn't it, like, but I had a great night.
Jerry in like this particular scene, he has some belting lines.
Yeah, he does.
Properly belting lines.
Absolutely cracking lines. In this situation, it would put someone on their arse. It was like a heckler.
Mm. It's this point that does make me wonder if this is sort of the. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like anything from Frankie Boyle or Russell Howard on like stand up or Mock the Week or anything.
Yeah, I've seen Russell Howard live twice.
Yeah, but then if you've seen him on Mock the Week as well, where he sort of recycles his jokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he'll done a joke on Mock the Week and then gone, oh, that works, and then uses it on his live DVD like that comes out like that Christmas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if that's this was sort of at the starter for it, because we have this whole bit where Jerry and the student are having the sort of the back and forth.
Yeah.
And it's so we have the student where it says where's the joke? Oh yes, bloke went to the doctor's. He got the steering wheel stuck down his underpants. Doctor said that looks painful. So it's driving me nuts.
Yeah,
because I know Peter Kay uses that on one of his, doesn't he? Like on one of his live DVDs.
Mm.
Yes, he does.
So I'm wondering if this is partially like the start of like, oh well, they did it on TV and it works, and then they did it on the live show, so maybe that will work for me.
Yeah, I remember this
But-
being on one of Peter Kay's live DVDs.
It was Bolton Albert Hall's, that one.
Yes, that was the one.
Then we had the student, hey, Grandad, your joke's as old as you. And so the only people laughing are the other students, and Jerry says, so what are you into? And he says, your mother. My mother's dead. Did she hear your act? We cut to Brian, who says, get Max and Paddy.
Should probably make mention as well that like literally in this next scene, like literally from, well, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a great night. This wasn't it, like, but I've had a great night. Jerry is literally like sweating buckets. And so he's like, head rest up against the microphone, like.
Yeah, he's like fuck this shit now, isn't he?
Well, there's also one of the standout lines, I think, from this bit, Lewis, which is, I think, one of the first things I ever heard you say, which was, I can't believe it, honestly, it's amazing. 100 million sperm and you were the quickest.
Yeah.
There's no justice, is there?
It's an insult that I use, like, to this very day.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had the student chatting to him with, at least I'm funny. And Jerry says, sorry.
I'm sorry. It's
I
like,
said
I said, yeah, I heard you. I'm just sorry. It's like you students think you know everything, but you don't.
Oh no, it gets better. He says, you want to save your breath for later on for blowing up your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then literally just sort of like all one-liner jokes start coming in. He's like, when there's a knock at the door, why do dogs think it's for them?
Yeah.
Then there's one about cured ham, which I didn't get.
What exactly did cured ham have?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Because it's been cured, so it must have been ill before.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And then the next one was, why do kamikaze pilots wear crash helmets? I don't know. Like, when they circumcise you, did they throw away the best bit?
Hey, it's funny. Can you hear them? Listen, laughter. It's not coincidence that when I finish talking, they laugh.
And then there's the one about the bloke going to the doctors with his steering wheel and his underpants. And then there's another one where he goes, I'm a little teapot, short and spout. Here's my handle. Here's my home sugar bowl.
But then we also have we see a bloke standing at the back watching from the bar, sort of taking notice.
Like a talent scout.
Yeah, pretty much. And then one of the best ones with, wasn't the butchers? I said, where's your assistant? He said, I sacked him. So have you sacked him? He said, we kept putting Willie in the bacon slicer. He said, oh, what happened to your bacon slicer? Sacked him and all. Sacked them both.
I don't know why, but sort of like after hearing that particular joke, I'm reminded of another Peter Kay joke, where it's man rings his wife up. He's like, "Why don't you tell me when you orgasm?" She goes, "I don't like ringing you at work."
Do you know what? I just remembered that bacon slicer joke. I think Paddy-mcguinness uses it on his stand-up.
Yeah, I think Peter Kay used it on the Blackpool Tower show. Possibly. He's used it on his stand-up as well before. It was either Blackpool Tower show or the Bolton Albert Hall show.
Yeah.
One of them he's used it on. Then we cut back to the student who sat there now, his arms folded, and just says, "You're not funny. What's your name? Excuse me. What's your name, son? Any ideas?" Stu. Short for stupid. But then one of the best bits for me is, well, Stu, this might have come quite a surprise to you, but then Jerry jumped off the stage and
drops his drink all over. That's the new top, this.
No, top, you're taking a piss. You're like an extra from Tenko. Don't go out on bonfire night, they'll sling you. So then Stu gets up and pushes Jerry. And we hear Brian shouting, hey, you push him, you push me, son.
And you get like a Spartacus moment. It's like, I'm me.
Yeah,
I'm me.
Leslie, Alan, a couple of the regulars, Max and Paddy, and then Kenny Senior literally appears behind Max and Paddy, just goes, "And me."
I think you got Rave on there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, he's in the bit.
Rayvon's still there. He doesn't say anything.
No,
It's
no.
like you got Les Allen lost, and then Max and Paddy, and like Paddy just Kenny Senior just sort of and me.
Oh yes.
But then yeah, Brian says, "Right, you lot out before I knock you out. Go on, sling your hook. You're not welcome."
He's like, "I'm not going anywhere until I get a refund. It ain't going to happen, son." He's like, "I want my money back." And Brian just goes, "I want a moonwalk, son, but life's a shit house."
Oh no, you got a better one than that. He says, "I'm not going until I get a refund." And then he says, "Kenny, you best make him a bed up."
And then literally as they're getting kicked out, Jerry and Les Allen will start up again with "Bye bye baby, baby goodbye."
What made me giggle this bit though was they're leaving. Obviously, they're all out there. Max and Paddy are there at the back of the door, but also Rayvon stood next to him, waving a fucking cordless drill at him as they're leaving. He's sort of like revving it up and like sort of like going round. It's like a at him. And you can see a couple of the girls sort of like going. "Ah!"
So then we cut to Jerry's dressing room, and he's sat wiping the sweat off his head. Gets a knock on the door, says, "Come in," and it's a bloke called Dougie. So Dougie Hayes, I work for Hayes and Marshall, the agency. And then Jerry said, "Do you want to be a cabaret on Saturday night?"
It's like Dougie's going, "I thought you handled the situation like really well," and Jerry just goes, "Oh well, if you enjoyed that, you should come on Saturday night. It's cabaret night." And Dougie just literally goes, "No, I don't think I will." But it's done in sort of a way that sort of like if you cut off there, it'd just be sort of like "Oh, that's a bit insulting." But then he adds up as sort of like No, I think I've seen all I need to see." So he gives him his card and just says, "I'm part of an agency that sorts out entertainment for like cruises. We do Caribbean, Mediterranean, even do like cruises to Rotterdam."
Hull to Rotterdam.
Hull to Rotterdam.
You're not worried about getting your feet wet, are you? No, Dougie, no. Well, give me a bell. See you later. I might just do that. So then,
But what they're making it out how sort of like an upgrade that would be, because if you take notice of the dressing room, you got them like mirrors with the lights that go around the outside, and about half the bulbs are fucking missing.
I noticed that.
Half the bulbs are missing, and there's one that's like completely burns out and just hasn't been replaced.
So we cut to the end credits.
Oh, this is my favourite one.
Is it just me, or do you think that this is like literally something that like Peter Kay himself has set up and hasn't told anybody else about?
100%.
More than likely, yeah.
Because like literally, it's a very elderly couple doing like their best attempt at a salsa dance, and let's be honest, it's not very good.
No.
But like literally, Brian's there with just sort of like the smart, like a bit of a weak smile on his face, and like literally everybody else around him, Leslie, Alan, Rayvon, the two Kennys, Jerry, they're literally pissing themselves laughing.
But what triggered it though was when Brian turned to, was it Kenny, young Kenny, and went, "I used to do that."
He's looking at Brian's, as I've got here, it says Brian is impressed with the act. Even though, like, there's a bit where he goes, like, he twirls her, and they go in for, like, almost like a fake kiss moment. And she don't look best pleased as it is. And then as she comes away from that bit, she's looking like a bulldog chewing a bloody wasp.
Yeah, she looks fucking raging.
And then she starts trying to, like, get a leg up. And the guy's going, "Hey!" That's where Brian's like saying, "Is that I used to be able to do that, Les, you know?" Les starts laughing, which sets all the others off, and he's like, "I did."
By the end of it, though, you've got Jerry who's fucking literally like falling all over Brian.
I think it's Paddy as well who's like on the end. He's just like having to like stop himself from laughing, but he just can't help it. And then Brian says, "The books, I like them. I think I'll book them."
You're booked, and everyone's like,
Just to carry on. He's like, "You're booked. We'll have you."
It's literally like the only act that's sort of like presented at the end credits that I'm pretty sure that's actually it might be one of two, because I think there's one in season 2 that I don't think they actually say, yeah, we'll book you, but it seems to sort of like imply that way.
I'm not sure we'll forget.
There's the only one that comes to mind from season. Well, it's actually two that come to mind for season 2, and one of them is the very last one, which I don't want to spoil yet. And then there's also the that's episode 1, the Spaceman.
No, it's a different one. It's
that'll be season 2 then, I think. But
it's I'll mention it once. I'll mention it off recording, but yeah. It seems to be a successful one, even though it's not like outright said.
All right. Yeah, because I thought this one was the only one that actually makes it. I went into it thinking there's one of them that makes it through, but I couldn't think which one it was. And I always had it in my head is like there's only one that makes it through because the rest of them.
I'm the same. I was the same. I thought only one made it through, but Lewis here is now casting doubt in my mind. So.
No, as I say, once we finish up the recording, I will tell you about it, because it's one of those where all the characters enjoy it, but they don't but Brian doesn't outright say like, right, we'll book you.
Oh, okay. So sort of implied.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was episode 5, gents. What was the overall verdict?
I loved it.
I said just before we started recording, it's probably my second favourite episode behind Disco Inferno. I think it's probably the one that's had me in stitches the most, and it's probably been like the second most quotable.
Yeah,
as I say, you're not beating Disco Inferno, because Disco Inferno has Keith Lard and Clinton Baptiste, and I don't know season 2 as well as Paul might, but I can't think of a more memorable episode as Disco Inferno. But as I say, it's my second favourite thus far.
It's up there, isn't it? I mean, this one for me, it's not one of these ones where you're going to get massive belly laughs, but it's literally like it's unrelenting in the little jokes that it has.
Yeah,
and you're just constantly chuckling all the way through. I think that's great. I love it for that. It's up there with one of my favourites.
Yeah,
definitely up there.
Cool.
Definitely, yeah.
I think it was again, for me, the B story is a bit like as much as I loved Robot Wars back in the day and that, I found the B story a bit weak. Like there wasn't much covered on it because it seemed to focus more on the student night stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think the title of it was more of a cover story to lead you into that. If you read it, go, oh, Robot Wars, so they're going to do like they're going to have them all make robots and shit like that, but you don't hear anything about the story of Jerry Sinclair getting seen to about basically getting the camera shoved up his arse, and then
but then thinking on it, it's that thing though as well of like there's only what you see all the 3 robots because there's about 12 people there, 10-12 people.
Yeah.
And like Brian's been like convinced by Ravon that it can like do massive numbers and make mega money.
Yeah.
Like...
But it's like I mentioned on the previous episode, the fact that there's sort of like you have an A plot and you have a B plot. Yeah, the B plot was sort of like part of the title card for the episode, but it just seems to make the episode flow a bit better.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Which just makes it, as I say, it's part of what makes Phoenix Nights great, because you just sort of like got that shifting back and forth, and that way it develops sort of like a quite a nice flow.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
So yeah, next week will be the series finale.
Yep. At
The
the end
12.
of season. Yeah.
But then
So-
the question is, after that, where do we go from there?
I think maybe we'll have to make that decision on the next episode.
We shall.
Hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll have to listen in.
Mm.
Well, that was episode 5 of the Phoenix Pod. Paul, you might as well give yourself some plugs.
Yep. If you like hearing my voice, you can find me on the RAD Live podcast. You can find me on all the good podcast catchers out there, on Spreaker, Stitcher, Apple Music, whatever it's called nowadays, Spotify, you name it, we're on there. We're on Twitter at UKRAD Podcast. We're on Facebook. And yeah, you can also find my alter ego, Steve, from Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot, at Steve AOT GTMP. And you can listen to the Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot podcast on Spreaker, Spotify, and all that lot. And you can find them on Twitter at Treason, No.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a message just come through from Lewis, which is the Max and Paddy quotes on Twitter. So I'm going to follow that shortly.
Oh, lovely.
And of course, you can follow the Lost Art of Podcasting on Facebook. We're on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. We're on Spreaker, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all of the good providers. Are we on anything else? Do I add anything else? I can't remember.
It's Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Music, Podbean.
Yeah. If we're not on it, find it somewhere else.
all good podcasting sites.
You can also find the back catalogue on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
It is all uploaded there. Even all the old WrestleBox shit, which was shit. Apart from when Lewis did it, it was actually informative and interesting.
Yeah, all 3 episodes of them.
Well, they were better than the whole shit I did.
Yeah.
I got to dip my toes somewhere.
Yeah, indeed. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for those old shows.
Oh God, what was it now? 5 years ago, nearly.
Well, to be fair, I was trying to get Paul through this podcast for about 2 years.
Yeah, we were talking in our and wondering how we were going to do it.
It was that whole thing of like, mate, I've got an idea to cover Phoenix Nights. It was like, okay, we'll do it soon.
Yeah. It soon became much later. But we got there in the end.
We did, and
we acquired a Lewis on the way.
yes, we So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. So join us in a fortnight's time for episode 6 of the Phoenix Pod.
Whee!
Season finale. But is it for us?
Ooh.
Well, for the Phoenix Pod, I've been AXC.
I've been stupid and sexy, as usual.
And I've been Lewis Ogden.
And I think all that's left to say is, next!
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 Get him off! Get him off the stage!
You're booked!